the opener was Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. And ringside was, of course, Chuck Taylor and Danhausen, and Kip Sabian was on commentary. So I was so stressed out during the course of that match because I was like, I swear to God, they had better not be breaking up this faction. Like, Tony Khan, what are you doing to us? So Orange Cassidy went after Trent pretty hard. Like, he was the aggressor for a good portion of it. To the point where Chuck was saying to Orange Cassidy, like, what are you doing? Orange Cassidy got thrown out of the ring, Chuck helped get him up. Well, first, sorry. Trent came out and he helped get him up, no problem. When Orange was thrown out, Danhausen went over and just starts kicking him. And he's going, what are you doing? Because they're like these little kicks. And Chuck had to be like, stop it. And then got him back into the ring. But like there is a few things like Trent and Chuck still did a hug because Trent jumped out of the ring, OC moved, Chuck caught him, and they did their hug. But Orange Cassidy wound up retaining, and there were moments where like he didn't do the orange punch, and they clearly both held back at different points. But Penelope Ford came out and distracted Trent so that Orange retained, and then was very Kip Sabian the whole time was just like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. Oh, and very happily danced down to the ring after, like, because there's clearly like seeds of dissension now planted within the best friends. And I was just like, while I enjoy this storytelling, no. No is what we say to this. Absolutely not. Oh, so stressful. And I looked at Twitter and everyone's like, I'm so stressed out right now.
Yeah, I mean, they already broke apart the Dark Order, which was a hugely over babyface faction that people absolutely loved. I think that fans would burn AEW to the ground if Tony Khan broke up best friends because you can't you cannot break up that group. Not now.
Not ever.
I'm sure a few years down the road you can
No.
probably do that. Or at least keep Chuck and Trent together, and I could see like other ones branching off to do more singlesy stuff, but you can't break them up now. They're very over. Like
Yeah.
very beloved. It would be a mistake. I think it was one of the was it Cultaholic? It was either one of the Cultaholic podcasts because we took a little trip, so if we're gonna be driving for a while, we'll throw that on. We don't watch them anymore because they're just too fucking long.
Yeah.
But it was either Cultaholic or it was Observer Live. It was either like Ross or Alvarez, one of them, I don't remember, that was saying that AEW has this issue that Tony Khan gets people really over and then they're gone. And then it's like the next toy is brought up to get over. And when they said it, I was like, oh my God, that's right. Like, that's something that happens a lot. Like, someone will, like, Hook's a good example. Like, Hook was like shooting up, 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 up. And then we barely saw him on TV anymore. Like, yeah, he's coming back with Jungle Boy stuff, but, that
We've seen that with Wardlow.
Wardlow was another one that I think it was Cultaholic. I want to say it was on the pitches. I think we were listening to the pitches for 2023 and they brought that up on the AEW ones. And never really thought about it until they pointed it out and they were so right. It was Wardlow was one that they mentioned about, I mean, some of that was kind of not his fault because he won that belt and then that MJF shit happened where he, left or whatever. But Wardlow's first feud shouldn't have been 20 security guards and a lawyer.
Yeah.
That was an issue. And like Athena, she came like debuted and was hugely popular, and then all of a sudden they're on Dark and Dark Elevation. Ruby like debuts
Mhm.
really popular. We see her a bunch, then Dark, like just strictly on Dark and Dark Elevation.
We just saw that
Um,
again with Nyla Rose.
yep. It it feels like he's constantly looking for the next shiny new toy. Like
I think what it is, in the billionaire's defense, I think he's under the impression that, so WWE got a lot of heat for a long time for not building enough stars.
he's trying to
Fair.
build.
So he's building them, but then you have to keep using them. Like, and that's where the issue of having an overpacked roster comes in, like, and the issue of Tony Khan also being too kind
Yeah.
and trying to like please everyone and get, and there's just not enough. There's just not enough. Like, whenever this trios thing is done, I like the Elite I'm not concerned about, but Death Triangle, like, they're red hot. Like, and they've been red hot for a while. What's going to happen with them? Like,
I
they're
think
already
they'll
kind of
be
they've already kind of planted seeds for like a breakup with everything that's going on with Ray Phoenix. But I hope that's not where this will go.
I'm okay with that trio breaking up. I'm okay with the Lucha Bros going off into the tag division
Mm,
and Pac doing single stuff because, like we said before, he it's weird to say underrated, but I think he's underappreciated. I think
yeah.
that's more of what like everyone knows how good he is, but he's not ever really used to main event superstar like to the
Mhm.
moon level, and he should be. So if he breaks away from the trio, like you can get him in the title picture again, which he hasn't been really in since, geez, when I think he and like before the
He
TV
went ag-
started.
he went against Omega at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, that was it was
Because I remember watching that match.
when it was leading when they were like doing the matches leading up to Hangman and Jericho for the first AEW championship. I think Puck and Kenny were one of the matches. Um yeah, I don't remember him being in the title picture since AEW first started in 2019, and it's 2023 now. He should be in that main event picture, even TNT title. Like he
Yeah.
has not held that. He can definitely be in the pit. Like he can beat Joe. He's credible to beat Joe. Like
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
I I wouldn't be that upset because I think all three of them would be fine. Because Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks put on such banger matches that I don't ever have to worry about them never having a title match or like a main event match again. It'll happen. Their chemistry's too good together.
Yeah.
Best friends, I worry if they broke up. I think that especially I think Trent and Chuck would get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't ever want to see that because I adore both of them.
Yeah. And my understanding is like they are very much so like locker room leaders in the back. And I mean they're veterans, all three of them at this point. Um yeah, I don't want them to break up. I also worry, so Danhausen sold the most merch on pro wrestling tees out of everyone. And he put out a video, and I don't think it's entirely, I think it was part shoot. And if not, he has like, he made some very good points. Like, he sold the most merch, and he's like, how often am I on TV? How often does Danhausen have matches? Like, he's had like, I think he said he's had 5 since the
Yeah, not
beginning
a
of the
lot.
year. Not a lot. And it made sense, like, for him not to be having matches when his leg was still healing, obviously. But like, he's fun in the ring. Like, put him in the ring. And
Obviously go too, because when he came out as Darkhausen and actually wrestled, like he's not just some little stooge that gets beat up and then his friends come in and bail him out. Like Danhausen can hold his own, and I wish they would showcase that more because I would love to see him as more than just like the best friend, weird little sidekick.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love it when he's kooky and does the fun stuff. He can still do both. You know, you can trigger the Darkhausen, you know. Um Honestly, whenever everything's done with Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian, I would love to see Danhausen against Kip Sabian. I think they would have a fun match. Um because Kip Sabian's another one that I really enjoy. And I want to enjoy this feud, and I will not enjoy this feud if it destroys the best friends. I will, part of me will always blame Kip Sabian for it, and it's not fair.
Well, not his fault.